Right, good morning all. Yeah, this is just basically a follow on from yesterday. Still on the forward, rack and pinions in, doesn't leak. Took a drive, but yeah, it's just changed the car altogether. It's made a major difference. No playing with steering wheel, no bumping around. It's responsive, it's good. Like it. Yeah, got no leaks anywhere. It's still bleeding the air out of it, still frothing up in the reservoir, the power steering reservoir. I could get the vacuum thing onto it. I can bother. It'll bleed itself out in time. The air will come out, sort itself out. So it's working. I'm happy with it. Right. However, now I did, as I showed on yesterday's video, I preset the toe-in adjustment to how it was on the old rack. However, this, like, it wasn't even. That was the thing that concerned me a little bit. When I measured them up, one side was like 15 mil more than the other side, like wound in. And which means that when you wheel straight, your rack and pinion is not in the centre of its movement. The other thing, when I took it for a drive, I drove reasonable, but yeah, the steering wheel wasn't centre. The steering wheel was more like about there when I was driving straight. And so I'm gonna correct it a bit. Like, it'll still go in for a proper wheel on it. This is temporary because I got quite a lot of expenses. I don't want to spend $70 on a wheel on it next week, the week after. Put it off for a while. So in the meantime, I get it close enough so it's not basically dangerous in the wet. And because if your wheel alignment's out, in the wet, it's going to be more likely to slip. And the other thing is that the more out it is, the more you're going to wear your tyres too. So so I'm just going to, this is what I've done. Actually, on my panel van, the WB, this is all I've ever done. I think I've only had probably one or two proper wheel alignments in the whole 25 years I've owned it. So I don't bother with it. The WB is such that it's not that critical. It drives, close enough is good enough on it. It drives well like that. And WB, your tyres can be almost flat on it, and unless you're actually, hurning it, driving it hard, you probably wouldn't even notice. That's how, like, different it is. Like, some cars, it's really critical. On this, fairly close, but when it's perfect, you can notice the difference. I had a Camry prior to this, a 2002 Camry, and that was absolutely critical. If the wheel alignment wasn't 100% perfect, it just drove horrible. So it sort of varies from car to car. But anyway, in this case, when you've done something major, changed something in the steering, components or something like that, and you want to get a line well enough to drive for at least a few weeks, this is just what I do. See, notice the string line. This is the brickies line, and it's a good thing to use because it's tightly woven and it's strong. You can put a lot of tension on it. Like, I got that, pretty tight. And let me show you that. And I just tied it round the back, take it all the way around the front. I had to take my mud flaps off the front because they were going to interfere with it, and tied it back around on the other side. So basically, it's just going around all four wheels. Now what we got here is towing out. Now you can see how much gap. You probably can't because the camera's on the wrong side. turn that a bit. But yeah, see that there's like ½ inch more than that, maybe a whole inch. Yeah, camera's not doing it justice. It's like a whole inch. There, the other side. This is how you see when it's towing in. When you look at it, it's touching both ends of the wheel. But if you pull out the front and you watch the back, and you pull it out, bring it in till it's just, and you can see when it's touching because you might not. When you move it up and down, it's rolling the line, so it's just touching. And yeah, it's touching on there. So it's still touching. Right, so we're about 3 mil. So that's towing in about 3 mil. And that's probably pretty good actually. A lot of cars, like the bug especially, the bug likes to have a fair bit of towing. When you get your wheels dead straight, what it wants to do is follow the contours of the road. It wants to wander from side to side all the time. Yeah, so that's when you get your toe-in adjustment dead straight, perfect. Yeah, it doesn't suit it. The bug likes to have a little bit of toe-in, just a tiny bit. And this thing, I think it likes to be fairly straight. I'll probably put a little bit, but it won't be much. It'll be 2-3 mil. But because of how it was adjusted before, on this side, like your rack arm where it screws into the tyre rod end, it was like screwed in 40 mil. On the other side, it was screwed in 28 mil. So, that's like, what's that? It's 12 mil difference. And, it should be somewhere fairly even. But that means that, your rack and pinion is 12 mil off centre. Sort of straight off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwind the rack bar from the tyre rod end on this side, because I know it's way more than the other side. See, this is what I'm getting at. Now, see, if I wind out a good inch to bring the wheel straight, I'll be lucky if I've got ½ an inch of, as I said, it's only wound in 28 mil. You've probably got 28 mil there. Although it'll be less than that. Your tyre rod end's here, so if you've got 28 mil here, it's probably 15 or something. But if I wind that out straight now, I've probably only got ½ an inch of thread or less holding your tyre rod in. That's not safe. That's not good enough. So, as I said, I'm going to start on the other side, because I know that's wound in way more than this side, and wind it out till I get the wheel straight. And and then I'm going to have to move my steering wheel. This is the thing that you'll get with wheel alignments. If your steering wheel's in the wrong position, they won't take your steering wheel off and correct it. Okay, they'll adjust your toe in until your steering wheel's straight, regardless of whether it's positioned properly on your steering column. So, I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to wind it in until I got the wheels like almost straight. As I said, towing in just a touch, about 2 mil. and even on the amount, or as close as I can get to even on the amount that they're wound in on the tie rod ends, the amount of threads they've used up on the tie rod ends. Okay, when I've got that right, I'm going to take the steering wheel off and reposition the steering wheel so it's straight. Alright, so yeah, that's the toe in part of it. The other thing you can't see, it's not a full wheel lump. There's a lot of factors. Oh, not a lot. There's 3 different factors. You got your toe in, you got your camber. You can set your camber yourself. If your floor is perfectly level, this one isn't, you can do it. You could get a like a spirit level on your tyres or on your wheels. You'd want to go on your rims probably with a spirit level, or you can just do it off the floor. Now, the issue with just putting it up here is your reading is not correct because the tyre's bulging at the bottom. Even if the tyres were, like tyres are looking like they're due for a bit of air anyway. I have these fairly hard. I have like 38 pound front, 36 rear. Because this is a really heavy car. Like on the Bug, it's a different matter. On the Bug, I put 35 on the back. That's where the engine is, and 32 on the front because it's as light as. So, it varies car to car. It varies on how you drive it too. You want comfort. You're only driving A to B around town. You can have them fairly low. Don't get any bumping. If you drive like me, country roads, and you drive hard, well, then you want your tyres fairly hard. You don't want sidewall movement. But anyway, getting back to the point, you see, if I just tried to set, I'm not going to reset the camber because it's already been done. It's still good from when I had the last wheel on it. It was only probably 3 months ago or something, 3-4 months ago I had a wheel on it done. It's when I got, new tyres on the front. But because the tyre's bulging, that's not going to give you an accurate reading. You jack the car up so your tyres aren't actually on the ground, but you'd want to jack like under your arms, under your bottom ball joint, and you'd want to do both sides the same so that the car is still sitting at right height, or sitting with its weight evenly on the suspension, but with your tyre off the ground, and get rid of that bulge. The other thing you could do, it's not quite as accurate, but you could you go past where the bulge is, go sort of the front of your tyre. That's sort of fairly close. You see we've got about 5-6 mil of camber. That's probably about right. That's probably somewhere about around what it should be. No, not sure on this. I think that's called, I think it's negative camber if it's in at the top. Some cars like the early Sleekers, they come out with positive camber where the wheel's actually hanging out at the top. Don't know how that works, but anyway. The other factor involved in the wheel alignment is the castor. The castor is the angle, say, between your ball joints. Right, say your bottom ball joints here, your top ball joints up here. Now, you should have just a slightly bit. You don't want it. You definitely don't want it running backwards. So it'll make it like dive into corners and things. It won't want to go in a straight line. You'll be trying to drive straight down the road and be wandering all over the place. So, but the more you lean it back and forward at the front, the more it wants to go in a straight line, not turn. So that's your castor, but it should be sort of, at a guess, you know, sort of something around that, around yeah, just slightly further forward at the bottom than at the top. But you know, as I said, it's different for every car. Actually, I can see the top ball joint. So if I put that in the center of the ball joint, center of the wheel, yeah, see that shows the camber, or the castor, I mean, sorry. Yeah, so the castor is, yeah, just slightly forward. I don't know how many degrees it is, but yeah, it's just slightly further forward at the front. Anyway, as I said, I'm not going to interfere with the camber or the castor. Your caster's adjusted usually by you've got a rod that runs forward. I think a radius rod, I think it's called. But yeah, adjustment on that sets your caster. Your camber is usually shims. You see on this forward, yeah, where your top wishbone bolts on, there'll be shims in behind that. And actually that sets your caster as well, because if you put like more shims at the front, because you know there's two ends to your wishbone, if you put more shims at the front, then it's going to turn that whole arm. So yeah, that will also affect your caster. So that's camber and caster on those ones. So anyway, as I said, I'm not going to, you know, keep the camera rolling while I do this. It'll take me an hour of fiddling, farting around. But yeah, just wanted to give you an overview and yeah, just a bit of an idea if you've never done it before, and yeah, how to set up your toe in alignment of, you know, well enough to drive around without wearing your tyres out or being dangerous. And yeah. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Bye.